Right, back with another episode, the first official episode of the Frenzy podcast, joined by a very good friend of mine, Sean Farren. So how did we meet Sean?
Oh, well,
Through my ex-girlfriend, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Through my ex-girlfriend, and then when did we get close?
Well, it was over the lockdown, wasn't it? We was just playing Warzone constantly.
Oh no, but it was that party with me, you, Tom, where I was drinking Buckfast, rolling the suit and tie.
Oh yeah, there was a little one before that as well. That was a bit more.
The Liverpool accent, yeah. Anyway, no, we're on about. Anyway,
yeah.
And then lockdown, Call of Duty. That's when we got like really close.
Yeah, it's just Warzone because obviously I'm a goated player myself.
Yeah, we lost
still
all
to this
concept.
day.
Oh no, it was the Monopoly, bro.
The Monopoly.
Some tension there.
There was some real competitism. I can't even speak properly, but there was some real competition in those Monopoly games, and there were some enemies made and there were some friends made.
And lost.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. We were literally playing Monopoly till like 4 in the morning. Like we just didn't sleep.
Yeah.
First quarantine, it was like no concept of time or anything. That's when I got to know Eddie. Eddie, if you're watching.
Of course he is.
Eddie's one of those people I have so much respect for.
Yeah.
They're such nice people. He got in the recent job. Love Eddie for that.
Always supporting.
Eddie really helped me with the start of Friends. He's just always there with support. And yeah, man, he's such a lovely guy. If you're watching,
legend.
Have a bit of love there, Eddie.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, Soul Out Sneakers. Go follow him on Instagram. And also, Sean, it's the start of the podcast. Let's introduce you to your fitness page.
So me and my friend Finn, that we were training throughout the lockdown period, and throughout that time we decided to make a fitness account, and it's mainly just for helping people. Any questions anyone's got, we would answer those questions. We make a few workout videos. We haven't been as consistent with it recently, which is my bad really, and there's just been some issues with content because we can't really train at the same gym all the time. We try to, and like later on we are training together. So hopefully get some videos in there. Hopefully Jemmy can record some sets and do something like that.
Today we got the pre-workout in the set ready to be took at the end of the podcast. I'm going to get some B-roll for the start of the podcast at the gym after this. So your fitness account. What made you want to start the fitness account? So
the fitness account, like I say, it was literally mainly to help people show progress. Like we've got all the different Instagram highlights showing mine and Finn's progress throughout lockdown, throughout the whole of the time we've been working out. So for me, it's pretty much been 6 years now. It's coming close into 6 years. And for him, I got him into it like 13, 14 years old, and then he's taken it seriously since about 14, 15.
Yeah.
And I started to take it very seriously. So has he since for about a year to 6 months sort of time, which is when I've really blown up myself.
Like people who are doing something for themselves and actually really creating something, or just motivating time into something productive for themselves. Oh, I just love. Obviously, I can relate to you. You know, you're running your fitness page, you're doing the Instagram, and for me with the Frenzy and the YouTube and the podcasts. But when you see people who are just like vegetables, they just do not. So like, it scares me because some of my friends are like it, and you just like you ask them what they want to do with their lives and themselves, and they're just like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, does that not scare you? Does that not scare you that you don't have fire in your belly? You don't want to progress in life. You don't want to do well. You don't. I mean, maybe they do have the right intentions. They just don't know where to pursue that energy.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of our friends as well, because we know them better than most people, so we know what their goals are in life, or we know what they think their goals are in life, and obviously we're supportive of that. But I think the problem is I was saying it earlier as well, I think we've got quite like egotistical, I can't even say that properly. Yeah. We got quite dislikable personalities in some cases my ego towards trying to be the best that I can be. Sometimes that isn't going to be liked by everyone, and that's completely fine. You don't have to like me. You don't have to appreciate what I do, but just know for the most part that a lot of the stuff that I do, and the whole point of me creating the fitness account was to try and help people. So I'm going to try and do that to my best of my ability. And if people don't want to be along with that, then that's their fault really. They're missing out. Like,
I think leading on to that was the people that we were talking about that, you know, don't have any motivation to, you know, potentially go off and create something for themselves, whether it be, you know, a clothing brand, whether it be a fitness account, whether it be a cooking show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just find something you're passionate about and use energy and pursue it. That's what I find really cool, and that's what he's doing, and I respect that so much.
Yeah, and especially with your clothing stuff as
yeah.
well. Like, the ideas you come up with, like, there's not... Obviously, having an imagination is the key point of what you do, because, I mean, show them the tea there. I mean, like, what the fuck is going on in that? Like, it looks amazing, but
yeah.
it's, like, it's all over the place. But, like, that's what's good about it, and that's what makes it so different, and I think that's what's really good about it.
Kind of incorporates the whole frenzy.
Exactly.
Yeah, linking back to, you know, to people that are very quick to judge, the people that like to project their insecurities onto others. I think, you know, everybody can be guilty of projecting some of an insecurity. Everybody has their own bias and preconceived ideas towards everything.
Yeah, because I think we're both guilty on it as well. Because I know a classic example is, say, if I see someone that is bigger than me, like potentially stronger than me, that was hard. It's not ideal.
Slow-mo on that.
So there are people that are bigger than me. I'll see them walking about and something like that, and my first thought in my mind will be, oh, they're definitely on PDs, they're definitely on steroids, they're doing something to make them better than me. But if you take a step back and actually look at the bigger picture and see how much work, no matter what they're on, how much work they put in to get to that size and get to that strength level, then it's all about, I guess what I'm trying to say is, it is all about just taking a step back and seeing it from their perspective and why they're doing what they're doing. And that's what some people are struggling to do. And it's fair enough, because not everyone's...
Yeah, and I think something to
not everyone
always
has the
make
capability.
sure is, I'm sure if you, like, our intentions are always good and are pure. And
Yeah, 100%.
I know our TikTok would probably be, you know, there's a bit thirsty stuff on there. But at the same time, you know, the TikToks do bang, and they do actually, like, get places. They do bang views. If you're trying to promote an agenda, if you're trying to get yourself out there, TikTok is a very effective tool. I'm sure you can agree with your Instagram account.
I think TikTok is one of the best places to grow. Whatever you have. Promote something. Because the algorithm is so random, you can blow up on views and blow up on likes in some of the most ridiculous things. You'll see people.
Ones where you don't try it that.
Yeah.
Hard to make.
Because there's that trend as well that's like with this like won't bang, but for the boys,
But it's like so. For example, the last drop for the Adderall teas. I made a TikTok right before the drop, and it happened to go quite viral. It done really well, and oh my god, so many orders. Like,
because you said you got one from North America literally yesterday, didn't you?
I got an order from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Like, TikTok is such an effective marketing tool. It helped Frenzy, especially in the last drop, so much. It's such a surreal feeling when you're sat on your bed and all of a sudden you see all these notifications come through, like order, and it's like £25, £50. I'm like, and you just sit in the bed and it's overwhelming, and you're like, I don't even know these people.
Yeah,
and
that's what's mad.
And honestly, I'm so appreciative for that, and it's honestly so sick. And I'm sure, like, with your Instagram, there always will be ways to monetize that and create a revenue through that. Any following and any influence that you have, you can, you know, create a form of monetization through that, whether it be brand deals or anything like that for your Instagram, growing it, maybe even your own, you know, gym line. There's so many different, or it's selling workout routines. There's loads of different ways, and I think it's something so sick about social media, and not very many people are utilizing it, especially at our age. And I don't think we understand how. Well, as you can see, we're in a really cool studio, and this is through my college, and I'm so grateful to have all these opportunities to use this. But I think if you look at perspective and see how privileged we are in our position, and really take advantage of that, and utilize our position to really create something, I think hardly anybody is doing that and really taking advantage of it. Something I wanted to also break down into the segment was, hold on.
Gotta get your fluid in.
Yeah, got the old creatine monohydrate.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so in my personal experience, the education system is so flawed, especially, well, in my case as well, having ADHD, and it's not up to date, is it? It's still quite held back on to what the modern age is like. Especially, they need to have something. I think at the same time,
with the real life.
I think at the same time though, like, I think I hated the education system that much. I know I'm in formal education, I'm in college and stuff, but I can just about bear it. But I feel like the hatred for normal education and like a normal 9-to-5 job, I've harnessed that energy into something to make me so scared of it that I have to do something right now to ensure that I won't be working that 9-to-5 job, I won't be working that normal job, I won't be working that normal, lifestyle of, okay, just work until you're 64 and have a pension and then you're happy. Like, that scares me, man. Imagine just working away your whole life and working under somebody and not being happy. Oh my God. But at the same time, I think we need the education system, as harsh it may seem. I think we might, because you need the 9-to-5 workers to have the self-employed workers, to have there's like an equilibrium that needs to be met. And I think, so there has to be that type of people. But in my case, I don't want to see your point of view from this, but like secondary school was horrible. I was miserable. I was so angry at teachers and stuff up until like year 11, because I found a way of being able to piss off teachers without getting into trouble, and that was through patronising them. Because if you're annoyingly patronising,
don't do this in school if you're still in school, by the way. Don't.
You can get away with this. If there's a younger audience watching, if a teacher tells you to do something like, oh yeah, of course I'll do that. Yeah, my pleasure.
just a tone of voice, just to piss them off.
Yeah, it's just a patronising.
But you can swear on this, can't you?
Yeah, you can swear on this. And it's just the patronising aspect of it. I remember I used to I had like flat feet, so I was able to wear like trainers to school.
Yeah.
And like all the teachers used to hate me anyway because I was an absolute like dick to teach. Like I was just so hyper active and just never shut up, and I was getting into trouble. I was never a bad kid. I wasn't bad to anyone. I was just...
Yeah, you're not going around like punching people and stuff like that, just like a dick.
I had one of those cards that said easily distracts others, so...
No way, they have cards like that.
Yeah, so I remember there's a teacher that like, I didn't really like hardly any of the teachers apart from a few that I loved. Love-hate relationship. Anyway, she comes up to me, and Ollie Parsons, if you're watching, he was with me. So she comes up to me and she was like, "Oh, Jamie, why are you wearing shoes?"
Why are you wearing shoes?
Yeah, I was like, I think it was
shoes.
I mean, why are you wearing trainers?
Come on now, you got to think about it, mate. Come on, speaking too quick.
Today, no, so she's like, "Oh, so Jamie, why are you wearing trainers?" And I'm like, "Oh, because of my flat feet." I was just like, I just said it, and I was like, "Well, have you got a card?" And I was like, "No, not on me." Because I was doing like a little errand or something. And
fucking take him off then.
Yeah. So then she was like, "Oh well, Jamie, you're gonna have to follow me, and we're gonna have to go to the principal, and you're gonna have to explain to him why you're wearing trainers." And then I said,
"Dick."
And then I was at reception. I put down what I was wearing, and then I turned around to her and said, "You know what, miss? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll walk to the head of year, and I'll happily show you my little card that says I'm allowed to wear these trainers. Is that something you'd like to do?" And she just fucking went, "Yeah, go on." So we walk all the way to the head of year, and we just open the door, and she just gives him the card, and her face was just like so pissed off that I was right, and I was so I was like, "Oh, there we go. How now am I able to wear shoes now without you coming out?"
There we go with the shoes again. Come on now.
Yeah. Oh my God, trainers. You know what I mean? And it's just ways to get back at teachers and really piss them off in a way that you're allowed to do it. And I took so much enjoyment out of really just like, because it used to be where I'd lose my anger from like year 7 to year 10. They would always pin me and they'd always get me.
They get you into like a trap, don't they?
And then at year 11, there's a little turning point.
Because you're quite smart of how you wind people up, aren't you?
Yeah, so you have to be very precise.
You do have to be precise. You can't let your words slip and say shoes instead of trainers, for example.
Yeah, I would never do that. But no, you have to be very subtle in the way that you do it, and when you do it, you have such a bit of power over those teachers because in reality they lose all power.
Yeah, there's only so much they can do. But
you need to be smart because you never need to be caught out. And I know that I'm talking about this very precisely, but it's something that I love to do. Like teachers.
It's one of my real passions, just pissing off teachers, and there's nothing they can do about it. Really drives me through the day.
Oh no! But I would get such a dopamine rush from it. It was like I don't know. I'm quite stubborn in that sense, but. It's just when teachers abuse their power, and I think some teachers actually go into teaching just to abuse power. They must have been.
My dad would. My dad fully admits that he would if he was a teacher.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, most people would, because I think it's human nature to try. assert power when you're given the responsibility to do so.
Yeah, I think everyone loves the idea of being alpha. I think that's why there's quite a lot of collision in some like friendships, because everyone wants to be that alpha.
Yeah, I mean, I think even you can use the same ideology to like an alpha in a group, because I could let people think that they're alpha even if they're not, but it's just about being passive, really. And I think I'm a very passive person.
Yeah, no, you're very level-headed with the way you think, which is what I like.
But I think at the same time, I think I'm really hard to annoy, because I can annoy people very easily. I'm very obnoxious and I'm quite naive. I'm a very naive little 17. I'm very immature. I'm an adult next year, and I feel like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, no, you can be immature, but like when you need to be, you're like me. You can be mature, because because I remember watching one of those Omegle videos that you did, and you was talking politics, and some of the stuff you were saying I had no idea about, and like you can tell that you've either done your like research on it, or you've been very formally told on the way things are, because I would have no idea about some of the opinions you have.
I think going back to our position of being privileged, I think that we're just in such a position where we can absorb so much knowledge. It's unreal, and then again taking advantage of it. Like, geopolitical events like around the world, you have to be up to date for the Omegle video, and it's just, I mean, obviously I've been trading at the start of 2020 just under my stepdad's little thing. I trade on that on eToro. And with that, fundamental analysis, which is like what's going on in the world, you have to be up to date. Yeah. And I think just absorbing that, and I just love podcasts and absorbing like. Jordan Peterson
I do like that.
I mean, you might call me a mule manipulator. You might think I'm a horrible person. But I really like Jordan Peterson. I love his content. Joe Rogan is another one I love. But I think the takeaway from that is we're in such a privileged position where we can absorb as much knowledge as we can, and I think you'd be stupid not to. And it doesn't have to be anything you're passionate about. It's just reading up, going on YouTube.
Just having a general knowledge on the situation.
And, I don't know. I think I just pick up random facts. Like I won't know loads about one thing, but I'll know the general idea of a certain thing. I'm not in depth to hardly anything, but like going into the other segment, what I wanted to ask you is, it kind of interlinks to this, is where do you, Sean Farren, see yourself in 5 years? Because it's a scary question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So if I'm being realistic, so at the minute I do part-time college work. It kind of the younger cousin college of this college. It's
for the stupid people.
Yeah, so called. So I do engineering. I do a BTEC in that.
Which is sick. That's smarter than anything I do. You have to be smart.
Yeah, there's a lot of like physics and maths behind everything, which is some people looking in on the outside of, oh, it's a BTEC, he's thick. Like, yeah, I am thick, but.
Well, look at you. You're about twice as wide as me.
Yeah, but
not hard though. I'm skinny as hell.
But yeah, so I do that. So the plan is at the minute, without going into too much detail, is hopefully get some sort of apprenticeship and go down that sort of way. So we'll see where we can get with it. I'm going to keep on with the whole fitness thing, and hopefully.
Where do you see the fitness? So like your physique, your Instagram account, your goals, your PBs. We're 5 years. You have 5 years. So
5 years.
So look at the progress that you've made in the last year. And I think
that's what's crazy, though.
Yeah, look how much I know. I can say from a year from now, oh my God, I'm a different guy.
Yeah.
And if Jamie a year ago seen me now, I know Jamie a year ago would be so proud. And sometimes you have to like look back and reflect at that, because I've come quite a long way. I've done quite a couple of cool things. But at the same time, looking back from a year from now, I could have done so much more.
Yeah, that's one thing that does wind me up as well, especially with going into the fitness thing again. I never really did compound lifts, which is something that annoys me. So for those people that don't know, your compound, like the main compounds, especially in powerlifting, is your squat, your bench, and your deadlift. And I never really did any of those. I dabble a little bit with bench, but nothing major. I never even touched squat or deadlift. But one thing that really sparked for me is people that had been doing squats and stuff like this, and they've been doing them fairly consistently. I could keep up with them when we tried to do them. The first time I ever squat, I managed to get 120 kilo.
Bit mad that.
Yeah, which I thought was good for the first time ever me doing it.
Yeah.
And then over the lockdown period, I kind of worked on my deadlift. I've got a lot better with the deadlift, so I don't really have any impressive deadlift.
It's your bench, which
it's the bench. It's the bench that shines, and the bench that is actually quite ridiculous.
Bench,
well, it's 127 and a half.
Round it up. It's 130, guys.
Well, I'll be going for 130 today. So we don't know yet, but hopefully you'll be able to get footage of my bench in 130.
Yeah,
no promises.
We're getting the B-roll, right? You're gonna take that pre-workout and snort some.
No, not snort. It's smelling.
Well,
you don't do what you did and put it up to your nose and put your nose in it.
Oh my God! So let's tell the story. So let's tell the story of why. So basically, I booked the studio for 1:30 to 3:30. I told Sean that the podcast started at 11:30.
Yeah.
So I guess you're 11:30. So that's fine. We just go around time.
Yeah.
So we got the board and he shows me smelling salts. Bear in mind, I've never done smelling salts before.
Well, actually, it was our mate that we saw at this campus. He has the Eddie Hall's smelling salts. They come in three different. They come in three different strengths. So you have like the strong, you have the stronger, which is what I have, and you have the world's strongest, which I need to get next time I get them. So our mate has the weakest one. He has the strong, which, bearing in mind, it's still straight ammonia gas. There, it's all like crystallized. Mm-hmm. It's still going to give you ridiculous adrenaline, especially if you do it in the way that he did it.
Okay.
So our mate wants to see what his reaction would be to it. So he gets his strong ones out, shakes it up, opens it, and Jamie, even though we told him to, do it at this sort of distance, so I'll gut side on the camera, so do it this sort of distance, safely. So he's holding it there. Jamie gets his head, puts his nose into the little pot that it's in, and
basically
he goes bright red.
I go, and then I genuinely thought that I was just.
They were the bluest. They were the bluest I've ever seen your eyes.
Yeah. It was it was an experience, man. I remember, like, I thought it was just gonna be a very, very strong smell, but this stuff like travels up your nasal passage and
it travels rapidly, doesn't it?
You can feel it, like.
As soon as it's milliseconds after you've snorted, it goes straight to your head, and you're ready.
And oh my God, I work in a chemical place on Saturday. That's my Saturday job. I work chemicals, and I've played with ammonia and stuff. I've thrown sodium in water, So I've kind of had my dabble in chemicals and stuff. But oh my God, that stuff is, well, especially when you.
If you're doing chemical jobs like that, I know, especially with the recent stuff, because I'm doing for my work experience, I'm doing like utilities engineering, and they work with a lot of chemicals and like powders and stuff, and they won't have anything like ammonia in, but I know even the slightest. Like chemicals, if there's a leak, the whole place has to be shut down, because it can be. Yeah. It can be really bad. They have to wear full hazmat suits when they're working on stuff. Yeah. Like the amount of safety and everything that goes behind it is unreal. So
I remember
it's a good little thing to be in. To be fair.
Another part of the show that I love to get into, and it's something I'm very personally interested in, and anything extraterrestrial or out of the ordinary interests me. And the question I want to ask you right now is, got any paranormal experiences?
So.
Oh, you do?
So, paranormal experiences.
Weird things happening.
So, not paranormal as such, but when you told me that this was going to be one of the questions, I had a little think about some of the weird stuff that's happened. So, the weirdest sort of thing that's happened to me was consistent sleep paralysis.
Oh, so my stepbrother has this. He's told me stories about this.
So this one, it was kind of, sometimes it would be a dream, and sometimes it would be sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
So I knew it was all in my head. But the thing is with sleep paralysis, and the way that I could tell the difference was.
Hold on, quickly, don't.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Wire, 'cause it will,
Oh right, okay, yeah, sorry. No. So the difference the way I could tell the difference is with the sleep paralysis, I would not be able to move at all. So everything that was happening was completely uncontrolled. Whereas if you're in a dream, you can move about. It's in your head. You can. They're both in your head. And you can move around.
Did you see anything in the sleep paralysis? My friend Ash would always see like a Slender Man figure.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And he's tried to once he's able to move and he tried to kick him and he just fell off his bed. He told me. I've got a really weird one with this thing. So let me describe the character that. Should I make it a frenzy T-shirt? Describe it. I'll get a Photoshop and make it.
I've got a mask that looks exactly like it. That's how I know it's like photographic memory, because that's where the faces come from.
Yeah.
So the whole backstory of it was we had some like pantomime show back in would have been infant school.
It's deep. Yeah.
And there was this whole like robber character. So you know like the classic attire for a robber. So like your black and white striped, the beanie. So I saw this pantomime, and I honestly, as soon as I saw the robber, I had my eyes closed for the whole rest of that show. So the whole rest of the hour, I had my eyes closed, and I was terrified. Poor little Sean, just completely terrified. And I remembered that, and since then till I was probably about 9 years old, because that's when it started to
manifest.
That's when it started to wear off, and I thought in my head, oh, I'm bigger, I can fight it off now. Because this is quite the funny bit. It would start one of two ways, and this is actually quite fucked up as well.
Yeah.
So I would hear. So I would kind of like wake up, but in my dream, or sleep paralysis or whatever it was. And I'd hear loud like footsteps, so it'd be boom, 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 coming up my stairs.
Yeah.
And it would stop. And then you'd see the door handle turning.
This is mad.
And then you'd see the face coming round. And it's like this mask. I'll try and find the mask, because I think it's still under my bed. And I'll try and send that in so when you're editing it. But you'd see that face coming round, and you'd just be like, shit. And then the funny bit about it, looking back at it now, the guy was probably like 3 foot.
Yeah, probably like 3 foot.
It was literally.
Hold on, let me just check.
Right, okay.
Right, we're back. Sorry, a little technical difficulty. Sean was carrying on about the guy being 3 foot off the side of his bed.
So I'll go from there. So the guy was about 3 foot. He'd bust in, and essentially he would just start beating the shit out of me, basically. And
could you feel it physically?
I can't remember, if I'm being completely honest.
That's mad. See, I had nothing like that as a kid, and a part of me, I think, because I'm so interested in it, it's because I've never like touch wood. Obviously, it's a bit scary, but a part of me's never experienced anything weird, you know. I mean, I've been in haunted houses. That YouTube video where the leaves move is the only really probably weird thing. Yeah. The only other like maybe paranormal experience that I've had is one of the houses I was at. We walked down one morning. We looked at the cutting board, and my mom's initials was carved into the cutting board. That's like proper carved. But apart from that, no, it's not. And a part of me is upset because I want to experience that type of stuff.
Yeah. But I'll go about the other situation, which is slightly, well, I said
a bit more paranormal.
It's a bit more fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's what we want to hear, don't we? Isn't it, guys?
Yeah. So the other intro to it would be, I'd hear running coming from like my parents' room sort of direction.
Yeah.
And then he'd open the door, and he'd be like, oh, I've just killed your parents. That used to fucking terrify me as a kid.
This is so weird.
It's like, what?
It's like a TV series.
My head is like making that happen. And that would honestly happen probably about 5-6 times a week until I was like 9 years old.
See, I had no sleeping problems really.
And one of the weird, I've got 2 weird ones, right? So when I was like sort of 8-9 years old, I got my first like iPod Touch. And I stayed up one night watching like Minecraft videos or something, and obviously because I'm younger, I'm not supposed to be up at that sort of time.
Yeah.
So I thought I was having that dream, and I fell asleep watching it because I felt something. I heard a door open.
Yeah.
And I felt something like just completely ripping like my covers and like kind of like messing around with the covers. But it was my dad. He was like, oh shit, that sounds really weird.
Right, Sean. I'm not looking after ring the police, am I?
I'm gonna have to restructure that. So he just he ripped it off and he was like, oh, why are you on your phone, like iPod or whatever, and he just took it off me. But I was that like petrified of it happening and being in that sort of like state of dream and paralysis or whatever, that it would I would think it was.
So like
I thought at that point I actually thought it was like
so like
real.
Dream world and reality was like blended together in your mind.
That was that, because literally everything was like picture perfect. I was so familiar with my room because you're obviously in it so much of the time that you're so used to it. Yeah. And that's what made it so real. And the worst one, the weirdest one, like the most paranormal one that's happened. So as time went on, the dream started to like expand, because this time I would have been dreaming, because I could move, and that's the reoccurring thing with sleep paralysis. You can't move. Yeah. So this time was definitely a dream, and it was the same sort of situation. 3 foot bloody robber. Yeah, Sean Sweaty. Yeah, we get it. Right. And he kind of like we was fighting, right? So like me and like my 7-year-old self fighting this bloody imaginary robber. And
who's 3 foot.
I get locked in my shower, right? So my shower, it's like
by the robber.
Yeah. But it wasn't locked or anything. I couldn't move it, and I started to feel like my air going. Yeah. So I couldn't breathe, and like I actually couldn't breathe. Yeah. Like, in real life.
So wake up gasping for air.
I woke up, and I was in my shower.
Whoa. That is weird.
That's the weirdest one. That's the most fucked thing that's happened. So I don't know what's
That is there. Weird.
I don't know what's happened with that one. Like my best bet is that I've just
sleepwalking in a dream.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that is mad.
It's that much of a coincidence. So you would have thought that, because there's like a little step up when you go into my shower, because where like the drainage is and stuff. You think that if I was walking, because the door being open, okay, fair enough. And one of the worst bits is as well is my dad's a really light sleeper. Yeah. So he would have been able to hear me. You would have thought he would have been able to hear me. And then
that's a bit mad.
Yeah, that's the weird one, because I think I've told that before, because you was asking about it when we used to play Warzone all the time. Yeah, I was asking about it, so I think I might have told it then.
That is sick. I mean,
but it wasn't sick. I was pretty.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But I know what you mean.
No, it's just nothing like that's really nothing weird's happened to me.
Yeah, you're not missing out. Don't worry.
I mean, imagine that was a video. I mean, like I've seen videos of people sleepwalking. It's so creepy.
Yeah,
it's like
I'm still to this day so confused at what was happening with that whole thing. But then it started to fade away as like I got older and
it's the whole dream. The whole dream thing. So, and there's like no concept of time in a dream.
Exactly. You could be in it for a few minutes. You could be in it for an hour.
And it's like that links back to like the whole psychedelic thing of like Joe Rogan always speaks about it, like the DMT.
One thing with dreams and stuff. Have you ever like gone to the toilet in your dream and then
peed yourself
because you thought you could go to the toilet?
I don't think I hardly ever dream.
I've done that, and I've woke up and I pissed myself.
See, I
was just pissing. It was
I had a really weird dream. Like, so I never dream.
Obviously not recently.
I'll have like
a decade.
I'll have like one dream a month, and like I think it was like 3.
You remember?
So like
you only remember some.
I think you dream every night, but like the one dream that I happen to remember is like once a month, and so the dream that I did have, I think it was like 3 days ago, was like the weirdest one I've had like in a long time. So I was like round at like a house party, and I was like drinking and stuff, and then all of a sudden, like my tongue like started turning green. Like, you know when you eat loads of sweets, and you can feel it burn away at your tongue a bit, like Jolly Ranchers, like they'll burn away at your tongue a bit. But it must have just been green sweets that I was eating, and my tongue started going green and really sore, and flipping. I was like, damn, like I'm at a party, I'm like my tongue's falling off, and I'm like pulling up my tongue. My tongue's coming out like this. I just keep pulling my tongue.
Dream, I'm guessing.
Yeah, in a dream. So I just keep pulling my tongue, and then this is the weirdest thing. Then like I blink, I'm at bloody View in Basingstoke in the cinema, like I just bought a Tango Ice Blast. My tongue's like down to my knees at this point, but I teleport. Like I'm not drunk at this point. Like I was drunk in my dream, but like I'm sober in this one. And like when I go to the cinema, so like my tongue's dangling. I'm going to the cinema with a girl who I actually like know, but I've only seen like 3 times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to like a little date with this girl with my tongue down to my knees, with 2 Tango Ice Blasts in my hand, and then we go into the like little room of the cinema, and it's like, you know, like a theater where you have your booths and all that, and it's like, but there was like booths and stuff, but the seats were like little sofas, and then we literally just sat down and watched a movie, and my tongue just kept falling off.
So you watched the movie whilst your tongue was falling
with Tango
off?
Ice Blast,
With a Tango Ice
because the Tango Ice
Blast in your
Blast
dream?
like,
What film was it?
oh, I don't know, but like the Tango Ice Blast like numbed the soreness of the tongue, and I thought if I freeze my tongue, then it will like not go out as much. Like, you know, when I put like if you hit yourself, you put ice on it to stop it from enlarging or whatever. I was like, oh, I'll put ice in my tongue, like the Tango Ice Blast, it will stop falling off. But like it was so weird, and it was actually kind of interesting. It was kind of cool. So I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I want to go back to that. Do you ever get that where you want to go back to your dream?
Yeah.
And you try to go back to sleep to resume the dream?
Yeah. That's someone said to me the other day, because this thing about seeing people in your dream that you know in real life. Someone said that I was in their dream and with one of their mates, and for some reason they were in a primary school.
Oh, all right, here we go, Sean.
So they basically just imagined me in a primary school with 2 other people. And I just think that's a little bit dodgy, you know.
See,
I don't know why that's in the head, but
see, the girl that I had the dream about, I've only genuinely met 2 times in person. But I like, and then also I was, so a girl that I know through TikTok. I know her name's Alicia. I'm not Alicia. If you're watching, hi. No, she's from Northern Ireland and all, so it's
right,
kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we met through TikTok. She's dope. She had a dream about me in an IKEA. Like she just, that was her first message. So she must have been like watching a few of my TikToks, because I followed her back, or I followed her and then she followed me back. And obviously on TikTok, then you can message people. Her first message to me was like, I literally had a dream about you in IKEA and we had a massive fight. And I was like, so one of the first questions I asked was, what height was I? Because everybody says I'm way smaller than I look, because I'm 5'10". Everyone says I look really small.
To be fair, you've
I look smaller than I am.
You've caught up with me now, to be fair.
Yeah, so like, I was like, she was like 5'7", and I was like, I'm 5'10", come on. And then it's like, firstly, how do you know what I speak like, look like, act like? And apparently we just like was in the IKEA bit and just in like the furniture bit. Obviously it's a furniture store, but you know what I mean. And just had a fight, and I was like, that's so weird. What was I like? What was your interpretation of me? Because she only knows of what she's interpreted of what I put online. So what's the difference between what I actually am and what she thought her dream state interpretation of me was? It's so weird how our minds can like build character. It's literally like a video game.
Yeah.
Can you lucid dream? I know some people can lucid dream.
I suppose you have to be on drugs to do that, though.
No. So like some people can lucid dream and control their dream and want to dream whatever they think.
Control it and stuff, but I thought you had to be on
like acid or no. It's like you can just go into a dream like an episode. Apparently, like you don't enter REM sleep or anything like that, though. Like it suppresses your deep state sleep.
Yeah, no. All of these is all like Inception sort of.
No. Like my mate Peter can. He used to have like night terrors like you, but he was able to stop the night terrors and turn them into like lucid dreams. But like apparently it makes you really tired because you don't enter like proper sleep and stuff. But like
it's like sleeping with nicotine. Like you don't.
I mean I don't know, but like it's just like it's mad. The subconscious and everything is so mad. Yeah. Especially like manifesting. Like I manifested like having a podcast. I manifested like the clothing brand, and it's so weird when you see what you've manifested over a long period of time. Just manifest and just think I will have this. I will have this. This will happen. Like the law of attraction. I don't know if all this is crap, but
I will bench 200 kilos.
Yeah, no, but like it's mad manifesting stuff, and it just plays out. It just happens to play out. Just like the podcast has, just like our friends has. It just plays out, and it's like you think it's a coincidence, but a part of me is like, no, that's not. That was meant to happen. When I see something lucky, it's like that was meant to happen.
Yeah.
I suppose like with you manifesting, you could probably do it with like gym lifts and stuff like that, which is sick to think that you can turn something in your mind into something tangible. which also is a massive driving factor in motivating me to do stuff.
Because that's how Eddie Hall pulled that 500 kilo.
Oh, he went to a therapist, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he went to a mind therapist.
That's so sick.
To try and visualize something so he could.
Yeah, do you know what he was visualizing? He was visualizing his kids and wife being stuck under a car.
That's what he played it down to be, because what it actually was way too dark to actually.
Was it?
Put it on camera.
Or was it?
I think it was some like guy that he properly like hated that was like trying to kill his kids.
Oh yeah,
he was lifting someone off his like children.
Yeah,
actual person.
He was staring at the guy he tried to imagine it to be, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
the guy that was telling him whether to put the weight up and down, which I think is the same guy that disallowed his first world record attempt, which was 461 or 462.
Isn't that crazy? Where you have to get your mind into something that dark to achieve that.
It's a lot of weight, half a fucking time.
No, but like that's obviously crazy. But at the same time, you had to visualize.
Yeah, no, you had to visualize someone literally. This is my interpretation of it. The way that he says it, he said someone, so I'm guessing it's someone trying to cause harm to his children. That's
which is just mad. And he went blind for like 2 weeks after that.
It was he had problem. He was blind for a little bit, but
because
I literally sound like a proper fan.
No, but apparently it wasn't actually the weight. It was the fact that he held it up and he looked around like that.
Yeah. No, that's what's going to cause his brain to bleed and really fuck him up.
Oh, bro, the body lifters, the body lifters.
That is actually a thing though. That's kind of what I'm doing.
What, calisthenics, body lifting?
No, body lifting. This was a half body.
Half body.
I think it's called power building.
Yeah, but like anybody who like pushes themselves, you have to have a respect for. And like, I mean, I suppose when I go to the gym, I do like to push myself, but obviously there's levels.
Yeah, no, there is levels. I'll try and.
Yeah, if you're trying to really push,
I'll try and take you through the ropes, because Finn's on that sort of level.
Cool. No, because I generally think like when I have a session at the gym, like at the gym at the college, I'm like, nobody's really like doing what I'm doing, and I'm just a rookie.
I'm fully expecting to get looks like, oh, he is a dick. I'm expecting that.
Yeah, but
that's what I get. But everyone recognises.
No, but at the same time, you just have to look at your physique, and you'll be like, okay, he can, he can do that. But it's like the people who are like 30.
It's people that are judgmental of it, because whether they're jealous of what it is.
Yeah, it's just them.
If you chill out, take a step back, like I said before, it might even help you progress yourself. And a part of you have to feel kind of sorry for them, because they feel like they have the need to project their own insecurities onto you, because you're clearly confident with how you look, and as am I as well. And people take spite in that, which is honestly, I just look at them and I'm like, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I think you need to look inside rather than project, you know. But especially now more than ever, especially with social media as well, you're constantly looking at like you can either be motivated.
Oh, like your comments. I remember I used to go in your comment section and just defend you against all these people.
Literally, some of the comments.
Bro, you get it really bad. I don't really get bad.
I do get rinsed, but I actually quite like it.
Yeah, because
I don't know whether that makes me weird, but I do actually really like it.
No, because it's a compliment. It's an actual compliment to you.
If they're taking
the time out
of their day to say something bad about you, you're doing something right.
Yeah, you're revoking a reaction.
I'm dead into the camera.
Dead into the cameras.
Doing something right. If I'm annoying you by coming on this podcast, if I'm doing something to annoy you,
I know several people.
I'm doing right.
I know people that are going to be behind that screen right now. I'm sure you know a couple of names that will be watching this. Thanks for tuning in, fans. All right, I know a couple some people that will be tuning in today, and will.
I know several. There's people. There's people from the school that I went to.
There's one school.
Do not like what I do.
There is one school in particular though.
Someone tried to embarrass me in front of new people, and it was quite funny, actually.
The funniest thing is, in our town is quite a small, like everybody kind of knows each other. So I remember I was walking through town with you and a couple lads, and we walked past everybody who goes, you stick, from the school beginning with A.
Oh yeah.
So So we were just walking through town, and they're the people that stick it on you quite bad online. The keyboard warriors.
They're not too bad. Honestly, I actually.
There's a few in there that
I quite like some of them. Right now.
There's a few in there that
they've had problems with some of my mates, but for the most part, I quite like them.
I buy that running.
They're quite chilled out now.
It's just the keyboard warriors. When you see them in real life, they literally do nothing. But like when you walked, the thing is, you just walked through, and like everybody was like,
nah, they weren't like they weren't scared. It was more just like,
I just don't see the point in doing stuff online if you're not going to say it to me in person.
I get that. It's just people do get like a confidence boost online, because I mean I'm probably guilty of it.
Yeah, true. I mean, I suppose if you're not looking.
That's why I don't want to say too much in it, because I'm probably guilty of doing it myself. And if it has offended you, then I am deeply sorry.
I'm very sorry.
I'm not even doing it in the way you do it to your school teachers, but,
I am honestly, from the bottom of my heart, very sorry if I caused any offense today, guys. I'm gonna, before I go to sleep tonight, I am gonna say a couple prayers regarding of how much hatred I've caused you, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, furthermore, if you're on death row, Sean.
Oh, death row.
All right, if you're on death row,
likely, especially in this country,
if you're on death row and you had to pick your last meal. So you I think the budget is $50, $50. Well, 50. I think in America it's dollars, but you have a $50 budget. You're on death row. You're having your last meal right before you get the lethal injection. What are you ordering? I know one of the foods is a bowl of shreddies, because I just know that well.
Yeah, that just kind of goes without saying though, really.
So $50. You go first, and I'll say mine.
Right. So legally.
No, I think you can have alcohol. If that's what you're asking, you can have alcohol.
Yeah, okay,
I think you can have.
Still,
I don't think you can get drunk. I think you have like a glass of wine with your meal, but I don't know if you can.
You can't have.
I don't know, because I think everybody would just get trolleyed. I think everybody would just get trolleyed before, because I think that's what most people do. Just get trolleyed right before.
It's a last wish though, so like right. Okay, let's say you could have whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Cool.
I want a chance, first of all.
You want a what?
I want a chance.
What's a chance?
Oh,
sorry. I thought it was food.
Chance to hit my last PBs while I'm still.
No, Sean. Food, Sean. Right, Sean. Yeah, I know what he's gonna say. He says, "I want my vape. I want vape liquid and shreddies."
No, I don't even smoke anymore.
Is it?
I'm actually.
My guy, come on, respect.
Right. Yeah. So, bowl of shreddies, standard. Everyone knows it. So recently, I've got into barbecue chicken. Oh. Right, mozzarella, like grated mozzarella. Barbecue sauce with it, right? In two toasties to be exact. Have that in toasties. That's some of the most anabolic meals. That's what I'll say. That's that's like £10. So you have another £40. Nah, that's not £10. The loaf of
15.
Overall.
Yeah. So you have 50. Another £50.
Oh yeah. Probably pack of pulled pork. That's full.
Oh yeah, that's banging.
Get a drink. Honestly, I'm not too.
You like a bit of whiskey, don't you?
Yeah.
Like myself.
Yeah, obviously you can't go for the expensive stuff now, but.
Oh no, I know.
Bells will do.
No, a bit of high commie. It's the cheapest one you can get, but it's £5.
It's bells for me. Get Coke to mix that with Coca-Cola.
All right, Sean.
And
that's probably a 50 actually, to be fair.
Nah, I could get one more thing in, but we'll
a bit of pre-workout, get the heart going.
Yeah, that's probably a terrible idea. Shit myself as soon as we'll leave it at that.
Right, so yeah, that, you know what? I would eat everything that you just said, and I would be fulfilled. I'd be happy, right? So
I probably still wouldn't even be full up, to be honest.
So I would have a bowl of Wheatos, because that's just what. Oh, so I have a bowl of Wheatos and a bowl of Zimmies. Zimmies is new cereal that's only sold in B&M Bargains. It's made by the same people as Cocoa Pops, but they're like dragon shells with like little nuggets. Huh?
Kellogg's.
Yeah, it's Kellogg's. They're like.
Why are they only selling it in B&M?
The only place I can find them is in B&M. So it's like little like
maybe it's because of the bigger store.
Yeah, it's like chocolate puffs with like shells, and oh my god, it's like so iron sugar, so I hardly ever eat it. But I would have a bowl of that, a bowl of Wheatos. You know what crepes are?
What, pancakes?
Yeah, but like the crepes of like maple. Right, so I'd have one crepe of maple.
Crepe, right?
Oh, Oh, I'd have one crepe with maple syrup, one crepe with sugar and lemon, and one crepe with Nutella and strawberries. That's probably £10 there. And then I'd have French toast and maple syrup, right? Then I'd have fillet steak, but it has to be rare, right? Very important, it has to be rare. So that's probably like 30 quid gone. And then I would probably have a Tango Ice Blast. End it off. I'd have a Tango Ice Blast, and that would probably be mine. So you've seen what you've done in a year from now, Sean.
Yeah.
So this time last year, you were at a certain point in your life. Now you've evolved. You're a different man now. As everyone else is, quarantine changes a lot of people.
Yeah.
So bearing in mind the progress of what you've seen in this year, and
I'm guessing with gym. Yeah.
Yeah, or just anything, and it can be anything regarding your life. And then, so you've seen what you can do in this year. Firstly, what I want you to do is, what are you going to be this time next year? And also after that, I want you to talk to yourself in a year from now, and hopefully you'll ask yourself questions a year from now.
So I'm going to quote myself here and look back in it.
Yeah. So what I want you to do, you're going to manifest.
May 14th.
So it's May 14th. Yeah. So we're gonna redo it in a year, and you're gonna manifest all your manifestations and see if you've achieved them in this time next year. So basically, what do you want to succeed by this time next year?
So I do kind of want to be getting on with. We'll start off with like just general stuff in life, then we'll move on to the fitness stuff.
Fitness stuff, cool.
So I definitely want to be doing a lot better for myself now at the minute, because like I'm not working or anything, so it's a little bit tough. I mean, I've got parents to support me financially, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
It especially helps when you have to get all the food in for the stuff that I do with the gym.
It's pricey, bro.
Yeah. You have to spend a lot of money.
Especially like the 0-calorie syrup and all that really cutting stuff.
I don't even have any of that.
Oh no, like that stuff. You don't want to get that stuff. It's just rips my pockets.
Yeah. So that's the situation I'm in at the minute. So hopefully I can start making some progress towards that.
So you want to have
do like sort of apprenticeship stuff, just get my qualifications.
So you want to have an income this time next year?
Yeah, some sort of.
You could also have a passive income from your fitness as well. Hopefully you'll be able to develop.
Obviously it's not a big regime that I've got at the minute. Like there's not a massive amount.
But it will be.
That is the hope.
No, it's not the hope. It's the fact. It will be bigger.
Okay.
It can only grow. Numbers only go up.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll go with that. I mean, also on my personal Instagram as well, which we're gonna.
Yeah. Well, it's just what is it? Sean Farren _ is it?
Yeah. So Sean Farren, and then another N on the end of Farren.
Oh, that's quite easy to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
So like another thing that you could probably do to put into that have another income is find a way to monetize that Instagram, whether it be through gym gear, get yourself any brand deals, or you could do selling courses. There's loads of different ways to monetize it.
Yeah, like there's a few even
PTing.
Well, I think that's what Finn's trying to move on to, but I mean, me myself, I've got quite a lot of knowledge as it is with the whole stuff. I mean, obviously if you was to work professionally, you'd need those qualifications, but I mean, in terms of the actual knowledge itself, a lot of the stuff you can just find.
It's highly attainable. So. Yeah, you can just find out everything, even regarding
there's loads of good guys on there. The best guy for it is I think one of the cameras.
Yeah, we'll just quickly just go.
Yeah. So where was that?
Yeah. So if you want to monetize.
Yeah.
The Instagram.
Yeah. So with monetization and stuff, like at the moment it's like you only follow me if you know me or you know of me. You don't really follow me outside of that. Like there's a few people like internationally where I've known them from like
TikTok
chats and like TikTok, which is another reason why it's so good, because
I love TikTok.
The amount of great people that I've met with this sort of thing.
And everyone says it's toxic, but honestly, I love it.
Especially the gym side of TikTok is so positive for the most part.
Oh, it is.
Apart from like
the natty or not guys are a bit weird. Yeah.
But like I was saying, with good people to watch and that stuff, there's a guy called More Plates, More Dates, who's called Derek. His knowledge and his head with so much fitness stuff is out of this world. You won't find someone more educated than him.
Yeah, I think if you're
on YouTube at all, you won't find someone. I promise you won't find anyone more educated than him. It's unreal.
I think if what you're projecting online is negative, your social media will be negative.
Yeah,
it'll be surrounded by negativity.
You attract.
Yeah. What you project is what you attract.
I don't want negative people.
Yeah, another. So my TikTok, I see. Yeah, because I see all this. Like, oh, TikTok's so toxic. It is blah 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 blah. I was like, my TikTok is not like, it's full of really cool people that like. I love watching the content, and I think the algorithm perfectly caters for my what I want to see on there. And as well, if you want to like literally, what are you laughing at?
No, I'm just thinking of some of the comments because one of my mates went onto my loads of my videos and started putting like just, oh, you're gay, you're bent, like loads of immature stuff, and then literally my army of like bodybuilders and
for real,
literally just completely slammed him. It was fucking brutal.
Because I mean,
he's like us though. He don't really give a shit. Like, he's done it
I think that
to piss people off. So.
I think if you like in this day and age, if you literally want to achieve something, or I think if you want to achieve something yourself, you have to really stand out there. And I think people can take spite in that and will be almost intimidated by your ambition and your confidence. And I think it is quite toxic, but you have to take the good or the bad. And if you're internally comfortable with yourself and you know that that's just a good or a bad, then it literally I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But even like my comments are most of the time it's really positive and loads of support. But yeah, as I said, like the feeling of just seeing all the notifications of sales going in, and it's money that figures that you've never seen in your bank account before. Like, I'm not saying it's stupid money or whatever, but it's just a fact.
No, it's a good hustle to do, because it's something you like doing as well. And
it's such a hunger for it, and this is nowhere where I want to be. Like this, oh my god, I have so much visions and manifestations of the podcast growing, the YouTube growing, the clothing growing, and this is only the start really. And yeah, I think you have to think that if you really do want to make it. But yeah, just when you see like the orders come in, it's so surreal, man, and I'm so grateful for it all. And I think going back to the question of a year from now, I think, would you like to say that you'd have an income from what you're doing, something like your passion? That would be likable. You should start Right, so you're seeing me right here, right now, because there's some technical difficulties with the podcast. It cut out, two of the cameras cut out, and it just kind of messed up the whole podcast. Me and Sean literally had a cracking podcast. We chatted for another hour. We chatted about loads of different stuff, our aspirations, etc. And it had a really good finish. We, dry scoops and pre-workout. This is really cool. Thanks again for Sean for coming on. And sorry about this, guys. One thing I learned doing this is, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, and it's inevitable. The only way that you can combat that is to learn from that mistake and prevent it from happening again. Starting a podcast is something new to me. I'm going to make loads of mistakes, and the only thing I can do is make them and learn from them. It's the first episode. It was inevitable it was going to happen, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to learn from this, and next podcast it won't happen again. There might be more problems to come, but then I'll fix it. So I'm sorry I'm sorry the podcast had to end like this, guys. So if you guys sat through that whole podcast and you got to the whole end, thank you so much. Your support means the world for me. I'm having overwhelming support at the minute, and I can't thank you guys enough. This won't happen again. I'm going to prevent it from happening again, and I'm going to ensure optimum quality for all of you viewers, because I want nothing but good quality podcasts. I want to make sure that this podcast is optimum quality I can potentially make it. Not only out of respect for me, not only for respect of the people watching, but also for the respect of the people coming on the podcast, which I have so much respect for people who want to come on. But guys, you made it through the whole podcast, and I'm sorry I had it end like this, but thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a brilliant day.